Diane Warren, you've written yet another song for another film, Somehow You Do from Four Good Days. Before we get to that song and movie, you're one of the most prolific film songwriters of our time. So, what do you look for in a film when you decide to say, yes, I will write a song for you?
Well, I either read the script or I see like a rough cut of the movie, and it has to be something I have to feel inspired by, to be honest. Something that makes me, want to write a song for it. It has to move me some way.
So, Four Good Days it's a very moving and gut wrenching film. It's about
Yeah.
Mila Kunis's character who's trying for the 15th time to get sober, and Glenn Close plays her mom, and she's seen it all before and her relapsing. So, what about this film spoke to you?
It's such a powerful story, and that mother-daughter bond that, I mean, and by the way, amazing performances by both of them, by Mila and Glenn Close always. By the way, I just did a duet of the song with Glenn Close at her event she just had in New York, and I'm waiting to get the footage. It was so cool.
We need to see that footage.
Oh, it's really good. I'm singing, I'm playing it, singing it, and she's singing along with me. It's just cool. She can sing. But back to but the story really moved me, and what I wanted to capture, in that, I wanted to capture something uplifting because, spoiler alert if you haven't seen the movie, a lot of sadly, these stories don't end up, well. I just saw there was 100,000 ODs, last year in the United States. So it's such a horrible problem. In this case, after all those times, like you said, 15 times in rehab, she does get through it. Somehow she did. So, I started writing this song. I saw the rough cut of the movie, and it was just at the beginning of the pandemic, maybe a month into it. And I'm writing this song for this movie and wanting to capture the fact that, no matter what you go through, even, the worst, with this addiction but it was at the same time the pandemic was happening and we were all going through all this, just everything shut down, and there was so much uncertainty, and it was so, and I felt like the song took on an added layer because that was going on at the same time. And to me, the best songs I write for movies are those songs where I write them for the movie. First and foremost, of course, they have to fit the movie, but then they take on, another life, and they become something else. Even what I did with Glenn Close, with this event, Glenn Close's event is all about mental health and destigmatizing, mental health with kids, especially, young kids, young adults. And that song took on another layer there because that song fit that, narrative as well. So did I answer your question, or did I just
Oh yeah,
go
for
off
sure. But
on a
that was also
tangent?
something like I think a lot about with a lot of your songs is you have so many well-known songs, and a lot of them have also transcended the films themselves
Yeah.
and have like a double meaning. So I guess
I'll
I
give
mean
you
you
an
sort of
example.
answered it. Yeah.
I didn't mean to interrupt you,
Oh,
but
go ahead. Yeah.
but
You're more important than I am.
no, you're more important than me. You know what? Fuck it, we're both important. To ourselves at least.
Yes.
But to the what's John Avnet. I'm going to give you an example because you brought up something that made me think. So when I wrote "Because You Loved Me" from Up Close and Personal, that John Avnet directed, right? I wrote the song in that movie, and it was like, Robert Redford's character dies, and she's, Michelle Pfeiffer's character. It's at the end when, it's almost in honor of him. She's thanking him for everything he did for her. And then it became a wedding song, like one of the biggest wedding songs ever. So it's like there's that song, the meaning of that, and then that song becomes, gets all these different lives, including a wedding song. Who knew? And John Avnet is also the producer of Four Good Days. So we're reunited on this movie, which
Yeah,
is
like
really
like
cool
like
too.
what, 25 years later?
Yeah, yeah. My one little Grammy that I won 25 years ago was for "Because You Loved Me." But we're reunited 25 years later on this movie, and I think this song I feel just as excited about as I did about that song, and it's already taking on different lives, which is really cool.
Hmm. Well, and you mentioned like writing it at the beginning of the pandemic and it
Yeah,
having a double meaning. So
yeah.
it does that make it easier or harder for you to write?
No, it makes it, I think it makes the song better. You know, the fact that you can, you know, that a song can mean, and again, when I write a song for a movie, the first and foremost thing it has to be is right for that movie. And this song really is right for this movie, you know, but then it takes another life, like with the pandemic or with the mental illness stuff. No, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing because it shows that your song, or that my song, you know, somehow you do, you know, it resonates. It resonates in different frequencies, you know, in a
Hmm.
way. And I think that's a great thing. You know, it doesn't make it harder because I mean, I write the song. It makes it really satisfying to know that, you know, this song. You know, if you look at the on Reba McEntire's on the comments on the video, it's pretty like I sit and read those comments and I'm in tears. You know, that song's really touching a lot of people. You know, they're going through, you know, not just addiction, but through, you know, depression and through all kinds of stuff in their life. And I saw a couple things saying this song really like, you know, gave me hope and stuff like that. And, you know, it's just like, it makes me feel really good, the fact that this song can help people.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, it's very hopeful and optimistic and
Yeah,
message. Yeah. And that's something we all needed in the past 2 years
I think
now.
so
So
too. We really do, and we need it now more than ever.
yeah, for sure. So with this particular song, what was your process like? Was it like lyrics first, melody first? Do you have like a set process when you write a song?
Well, with this, I saw the rough cut. I came in the office and nobody was. It was like, like at the beginning, like I said, in the beginning of the pandemic, nobody was on the road. It was kind of eerie. I mean, it was weird because like literally, it was like apocalyptic driving to work. And I went to my office every day, and it was great because I was the only person there. And you know, I just no one was there to annoy me or distract me. I just annoyed and distracted myself basically. And but I'd seen the movie the night before, and I sat at my keyboard. I remember I had this kind of string sound, you know, this really orchestral sound. That chorus just came out, you know, that chorus wrote itself, you know, and then it was kind of going backwards and setting it up. But I wanted to capture, you know, whenever I can, I want to give hope, you know, and I think this movie, you know, the story deserved hope. I think that because it did, you know, yeah, I mean, it ended well, and but anyways, it was during the pandemic, and so that kind of, I think that informed it as well. You know, that like, you know, your antennas are up, so you're taking everything in. So yeah, the song's written for the movie, but oh yeah, there's a pandemic going on, and there's a lot of people going through a lot of shit right now, and you know, you know, there's a line, you know, and you're in the battle alone, and life has punched a hole in your soul, and I think, you know, a lot of people were really feeling that. You know, a lot of people felt like life punched a hole in their
Yeah,
soul.
especially at the beginning of
Yeah,
the
you
pandemic.
know, and look, a lot of people are feeling it now. You know, hopefully less. You know, but then there's the line. You know, when you think it's the end of the road, it's just because you don't know where the road's leading to. You know, and you know when you think the mountain's too high and the ocean's too wide, and you'll never get through. You know, some way, somehow you do. Like when you think it's just you just can't see when you're you know in that state. You can't see that there's something, you know, to live for or something to hope for. And I
Hmm.
think this song kind of, you know, puts in words and music that there is.
Yeah. Well, when you're writing a song for a film, how much do the performances, not just the story, influence what you write?
Well, I mean, I don't write with an artist in mind. I didn't write in mind for Reba McEntire, and I usually don't write in mind for any artist, you know, for a movie. But I cast the artist as if they were a character in the movie. It's very important. You know, like when I did RBG, you know, I'll fight, you know. Or, you know, Ruth Bader Ginsburg was this, you know, kind of mild mannered, but her words were, you know, they shook the planet, you know, our country. You know what I mean? That like she had a loud voice, and I got Jennifer Hudson because she was her avatar. You know, like something like this on Four Good Days, I could imagine Glenn Close's character, you know, listening to Reba McEntire. You know, it fit. She fit. I can imagine Reba McEntire being in this movie as a friend of Glenn Close's. You know, like, you know, the artist that does the song for the movie they're another character in the movie to me. So they have to. That's really important. Casting the song is a casting process.
So was Reba, because this is your third collaboration with her, right? So was she like your first choice to perform the song?
Yeah, it was a friend of mine's idea. You know, I was just like, who can do this? And my friend who works at Universal Nashville goes, what about Reba? She's doing a new record. I'm like, oh, yeah, Reba would be awesome. And then it made sense. And I was thinking of some other people as well. But as soon as she said Reba, I'm like, oh yeah, I could totally see Glenn Close, you know, turning on a Reba McEntire record, you know, and so it totally made sense. And Reba's a great singer. She's a great artist. And she's lived, you know, like a song like this, you want someone who's lived a bit, you know. And also she's gone through a lot in her life too, so I knew that song would resonate with her, and it did.
What was it like working with her again after all this time?
You know, it's always great to have a great singer do your song, so it was wonderful. You know, I wasn't in the studio with her. I saw her at the video, and it was great to see her, you know.
Yeah, you had two like long awaited reunions between her and John, and he directed the video.
Yeah. I didn't think of it like that. Yeah, you're right. There were two big reunions, you know, Reba and John, and you know, and John it's really cool. And John directed the video as well. And he doesn't direct videos. He doesn't need to do that. And he loved the song so much, you know. So yeah, it's great to be reunited with both of them. And yeah, so.
Do you have a favorite lyric from the song? Was it the one you mentioned before with "A life has just punched a hole in your soul"?
Yeah, that's one of my favorite lines. Hold on. This is the B section. I gotta remember how the B section goes.
Sorry to put you on the spot.
But it's gonna be okay, because the darkest night always finds the day. That's one of my favorite lines. And you know, the darkest night will find the day. And in the first B sections, it's going to be okay. The darkest night still finds the day. You know, and I love that. It's such a simple line. You know, that's probably my favorite line in the song, because it's true. Like the darkest night will find. I mean, it will somehow.
So tell me about this performance of Glenn Close. Like, did you guys rehearse for a long time? What happened?
Well, we didn't really rehearse, and she has a charity called Bring Change to Mind, about mental illness, especially for like high school kids and young adults, and it's a big, you know, it's a passionate project for her. And they asked it just through a friend of mine. My friend knew someone who ran her charity, and they said, we'd love to do a night of your song. Can you get to Diane? Can we do a night of her songs? And then I was kind of thinking, well, Somehow You Do is from her movie, and you know, it fits this. You know, I mean, like I said, when you look at the you know, the comments on the video, there's a lot about depression and mental illness and stuff. And I suggested doing it as a duet, and she goes, let's do it. You know, and so we did. You know, and I have stage fright. I'm not, you know, not someone who really likes being on a stage. You know. And I said, look, even if you don't sing, just sit with me and you'll sing part of it, because yeah.
So
it was really cool.
Did you each like take a verse, or?
We kind of sang the choruses together. You know, but it was a beautiful moment, you know? It was a beautiful moment.
Yeah,
it was really
we need to see that the public needs to see this performance.
I know, I'm waiting to get the footage, so you will see it soon. Okay. I can't wait to see it.
Well, lastly, I need to ask about your bit in the A Night at the Academy Museum special. One of my favorite things you've ever done. So for anyone who hasn't seen it, there is a section in the museum where fans can go accept an Oscar and give their own speech. And you did that in the special. You gave a speech, and you've always had such a great sense of humor about your Oscar record. So how did this come about?
You know, when they asked me to do it, I was like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna do this. You know, and some people probably would have gone, no, you can't do that. No, I mean, I'm like you gotta you can't take everything so seriously. And look, the fact I've been nominated 12 times, and by the way, this 12th time I became the most nominated woman in 93 years of Oscar history in any category to have not won, to have been nominated this many times without winning. So that's really cool.
Yeah, slow up. Yeah.
I'll take it. Come on. But here's the thing: when you get nominated, and you're okay. So the Grammys have, how many song categories do the Grammys have?
It's like 100 and something, and I think they like whittled it down to like 80 something. They get rid of
something
a lot of
crazy
recently.
Yeah, right. So so the Oscars, one category, 5 songs. Okay, there's I don't know, hundreds of songs in movies, hundreds of movies with songs, right? If you look at the people that are in the music branch, they're the greatest songwriters on the planet. They're the greatest composers on the planet. The fact that they would choose me to nominate me, if that's not a win, I don't know what is. That's a giant win for me, and I take that as a win, right? So, winning, yeah, would it be great? Of course, maybe lucky 13, who knows? But back to the Academy thing. So they asked me to do it, and I had fun. I loved it. And at the end, when I go, I'm not giving this back, that was almost real. Like, that.
Did you actually try to sneak that out?
I'm like, what can how do I get this? I can't really. It's kind of big. It's heavy. I've never lifted one, obviously.
Did you have like a bag like right by your feet? Like,
well, I should have. I didn't think of that. But I lifted it up. I'm like, wow, let's see. Maybe I can run. No, I wasn't really going to take it. But I was kind of like, But I didn't realize how heavy they are. They're really fucking heavy. It's like, I could do some arm.
Yeah, get fit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the speech you gave us also hilarious. Did you write that yourself? Did you have writers with the special work on it?
I made it more me. Like there was someone that had written something. And I'm like, I'm not gonna say this. Let me make it more. Like I definitely made it like more what I would say. And it was kind of fun. It was kind of a surreal thing because it was like, kind of almost felt real, But it was fun and you gotta you gotta laugh. You gotta have fun with all this stuff, because it's fun, and
yeah,
and
for
again,
sure. And it is something to be proud of. Like your first nomination was in the 80s, like that longevity.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like it was in '88. Was my first nomination. That's what 33 years ago. That's crazy. So and if I had a choice, like if someone said, well, you could have won, if you had a chance to win an Oscar and never be nominated again, or be nominated 12 times and never win, or 13 or whatever and never win, I mean, like, hey, I'll take the multiple nominations because that, like you said, that's longevity, and that's respect, and that's, that's just still being in the game and still kicking ass, and and I am, and I'll take it, and I'm proud of all this stuff, and I love writing songs for movies, and I'm proud of these songs. I'm proud of this song. I think the song is doing a lot of good, and I love the fact that I can write something that can, give people hope or make people feel good, and so that's a really cool thing too. It's all great. It's all a win.
Yeah.
Maybe I haven't won, but it's all a win.
For sure. Well, Diane, it was great speaking with you. Thanks again for your time, and fingers crossed for lucky number 13.
Thank you.
And if it is your time this time, I hope you give the exact same speech, thanking the donkeys and horses and elephants.
I think that I would probably faint before I get up there. If that actually happens, they'll have to like carry me up on a stretcher or something.
It'll just be an iconic moment at the Oscars.
I'll be like, what? Huh? How did that happen? Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Have a good day.
All right, you too. Bye.
Bye.